Inside Corner Time, Joel Sherman is here from the New York Post, also our good buddy. He's done his best Robert Stack impersonation to bring us some unsolved mysteries. Robert Stack reference. We're definitely hitting that young demographic there, right?
He was the Untouchables also, wasn't he?
That's right. Good call. So it is the unsolved mysteries.
So is Mason Miller an untouchable?
That's a great call. Great segue. Joel,
I'm out.
He's hosting, he's producing, he's inciting, doing the whole thing. All right, so let's talk about some things, some burning questions here. And let's start with Mason Miller. Is he available? That's an unsolved mystery we have right now.
So I think he's a very difficult trade from both sides. Mark Kotsay, who was an American League coach at the All-Star game, as the manager of the A's, said, I don't think he's going to go. Like, at some point, we have to start building around something. And you could see what he would mean to the A's. But I would have a question. Do the A's play an important game between now and Las Vegas, which is like 2028? And the question is, will this player, who has 5 years of control and is averaging almost 101 miles per hour on his fastball and can change a team's fate, is he worth more to the A's by getting 3 or 4 prospects?
Yes.
For when they're good in 2027 and 28, perhaps, than now? Conversely, what should scare the A's about him, holding on to him too long, a guy who throws like this, who's already missed most of last season because of a forearm injury, had a shoulder injury 2 years before. If you're an acquiring team, he may be the difference between you winning a championship. He may pitch a couple of outings, and he's an high red line injury guy. True. So the question is what to do on that. And I will throw in one other thing that Mark Kotsay made reference to. This is a team that traded away from its last good team. Players like Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Frankie Montas, Bassett, Sean Murphy. They got some good pieces in return, but very little impact. I'm not sure they got a single player in all that who will play in an All-Star game.
Wow.
And so you have to make sure if you trade Mason Miller now at the kind of property that think about what he might mean on the Orioles, on the Yankees, on the Phillies, who feel like maybe they're just this one piece away from being a dominant postseason team. You know, you got to get impact and be positive about it. It's a tough trade from either side. We'll see, right? Less than 2 weeks now.
All right, let's talk about another unsolved mystery. Texas Rangers, are they going to be sellers or buyers at the deadline?
So Chris Young and I talked on the field at the All-Star game, the general manager of the Texas Rangers. They're 4 under 500. They're 5 games out. He got his scouts out doing both things. Looking to buy, looking if he needs to sell, what to do. He said he wants to give the defending champions as much chance as possible to win. They have the 4th easiest schedule by Tankathon the rest of the way, but they open tough, and we're very sensitive now against Baltimore.
Baltimore tonight.
Right? And then they play the White Sox. So the question is, what happens in these next few days? And key for them, they should get Josh Young back by the end of the month. Evan Carter shortly after that, Tyler Mahle in that same period, Jacob deGrom perhaps by late August. I asked Chris Young about Jacob deGrom. He's throwing 30-pitch bullpens 3 times a week. He used the term, Chris Young, former major league pitcher, it's as good as I've ever seen deGrom. So, like, if they're able to kind of stay in it, do they get Jake deGrom for, say, the last 30, 35 games of the season? Conversely, Flo, if they turn around and sell, they are a clearinghouse for pitching. They have 7 free agent pitchers on their team. Think about what a team might give up for Nathan Eovaldi, one of the best postseason pitchers, in history, right? Plus Heaney, Scherzer, Leclerc, Robertson, Yates.
Kirby Yates, an All-Star.
Right, and look good at the All-Star game, right? And Michael Lorenzen's also a guy who a team could acquire as like a swing guy. Start now, maybe relieve in that. I think they'd be open to John Gray. I think they'd be open to Adolis Garcia and Nate Lowe. Whoa. They're not going to be a team that is going to rebuild, but can they if this is like the year from hell from them, they had a lot of injuries after a championship, can they reload for next year? They are as right on that tightrope as just about any team, and there's a lot of them for which way they're going to go in the next 10 days.
Unsolved mystery, who is Garrett Crochet?
So again, I try to pick out 3 things that were fascinating. Somebody who's an executive from a team that needs pitching said to me, how do we acquire him? How much do we know he has left in the gas tank this year? He threw 73 professional innings, total, minor and major leagues, in the 4 years from 2020 to 2023. He's already at 107 and a third this year. I talked to Crochet at the All-Star game. He said his expectation is he's going to be a starter all year. You know, Flo, I'm so fascinated by a group of people. We're seeing this with Luis Gil in New York. He had Tommy John surgery, missed most of last season. What about the guys who switch from the bullpen to starting, like Jordan Hicks, Ronaldo Lopez? How much do they have left? I think the White Sox are very open for the same reason with Miller. Their next good team is not 24, 25, 26. So can they take Crochet and trade him for several guys who help them from, say, 2027 moving forward? But is he a starter the rest of the way for a team that acquires him? Is he a bullpen guy for the rest of the year? I mean, a power lefty bullpen guy? Is he some combination of both? It is not an easy decision for an acquiring team to give up what it would take to get Garrett Crochet and not be sure that he's in your rotation the rest of the year. Again, a fascinating question over the next 10 days.
It's a riddle that people that make a lot of money are going to have to solve. So good stuff with Joel Sherman.